well, I've been to a divorce court before, but I've never been inside because that other one I almost got a divorce, and this one I had to be inside. It was so full, one. About Kueleda.
Good one.
I was stayed number out. It's not divorce. A court. Hey, you feel. I was about getting my cans, but you know, as told on my list. About only Mali. Now the camera can think was 20,000. And don't come to 20,000. Hey, Baba. Usama is into Emstabeni.
Yeah.
My spanner, spanner. My
spanner,
you move on. You keep moving.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm one of those people. I remember when first it's true. I think I'm Chela Utazin. Then to lay about they're going to so hotel. I span like my span for when via now.
Lochan is sharp. Gedisa nathi. Kulo naga siziragela phambili.
I'm very impressed with what you're trying to do.
Mina ngithanda utshwala.
Nathi singama community omphakathi.
Usiphosile? Uyasijoya fusathina.
Journalists have been asking me what happened between you and Somizi.
It's a good day to have a happy day. It's Happy Days on podcast. Ngendlela ethi ayibe right. The name is Rich Charlotte. Thank you so very much for joining us with this very, very nice episode that we are about to dish it to you. And thank you so much. Let me just start by thanking Uspicho Anye Gubuye. But siyabahutula sibangena ngenyawo siyabakhahlela. Yeah. Ntwana yam, thank you so much for holding the fort or for just making sure ukuthi we sit on that hot seat and then uyenze kube yakho usalalisa ayongakhile ntwana yam. Ngicela ukutshela amachilisi yawathela. GP Gangster, thank you so much ntwana zam. Ngendlela ethi ayibe right. This is another episode of Happy Days on podcast. Ngoba vele thina sihamba ngeline bathi sihamba kanje ngeline. Ken McKenzie.
It's all.
Ngicela ukutshela la yini South ya mu grand. Yeah, sihamba ngoline. Kusho sibahudulele sofeni. Grand out here.
No, ngiyaphila futhi.
Thank you so much for joining us out here, Mesh. Yeah, no.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Ngicine ngibone I think it was 2021. 2021. Yeah, benginvite sise ETV. Yeah, sishilile kumnandi.
Yakubona that's long time ago.
Yes.
But it's good to see you. Ngiyakubona so great.
Yeah. Ziyawa ngo Rich Bay.
Rich Bay.
Yeah, angithona ugrey la mina shaz zonke ba. Shaz phelele. And another thing that actually made me to remember ukuthi hey angaka feature uMakenzo kanjani ngoba ikhokho zami zokucala phela ngabe kudala ngihalalisile. Ole lami mina emngcwabeni wakho kungcwatsha sister.
Yeah. No. Let me zoka la kimi lithi kimi. Yeah, sister I'm reporting in 19
Yeah.
This year. Yazoka la emngcwabeni uthi yazi ukuthi ngobani mina.
Yeah.
Nithi angazi. Nithi angimanje ikhova zemncane so sometimes you feel like fana kuba zibonke ngoba sikhulele khona.
Yeah, that's true.
Athi amazi rich man. Urishthwala.
Yeah.
Umntanami.
Oli.
Hey, lakho.
Lithi ngimdonse phakathi kwaba ngathi angeke.
I know, but I must be honest.
Yeah. So sonke siphuma kwi background vele yeyikhova.
Yeyikhova ntwana.
Yeah. Ziyanga amazayoni.
No. Ka breakdown eRockville.
Yeah.
Sibuya khona lapha. Kubo phakathi babaningi.
Yeah, bophakathi.
Babaningi, you know.
Yeah, no.
But mina ngilezi ke ezingazange zagcoka istash ke. Abe sinkhista.
Why ungafaki istash?
Abe sinkhista. Awungiyabonga sis. Can you imagine?
All right. Thank you so much. And by the way, we are here. It's the new Sakumzi.
Yes.
Just right inside a zoo lake. Yeah, so in nature, igalona nayibona nanedama isahalalisa.
Ola champion.
Siphuza nezinto ezigrand. Asithatha futhi ama chance. Ngeke uzubude. So uthi wena umthechana next starch or starch.
No, as umthechana mfethu besingana choice. Isonto kufanele uhambe lapha.
Yeah.
Mara mina I got to a point where I'm like mina ngiyafuna ukuya ne, but thinking yami one. Uyakhumbula ekasi?
Yeah.
Mahamba esitrateni.
Yeah.
Uphethe isikhali.
Ngikuthiwa igwala.
Isonto lamaziyoni.
Isonto lamagwala angaze ngalibona.
Isonto
Iphathe induku. Hayi vele ubonga ukuthi ezaphahlakela lapha.
And that time also bona abo sister nama off ne bracket lami road. Icela umfundisi na. Mama zo anele stashi sabo.
Yeah.
Hayi. Ne. Angingeni mina.
But wena makhezo ngibheka ngibona ngathi ile out lezi ezincane ukushaya ichu. Yabo lezi ethanda buthatha bo baby. Angazi. But hey mayiva phambili.
No, ne bracket lami hayi mina.
Oh bengancane vele chama ngara ideng.
Hayi yachama ngara ideng.
Uzobakhuluma ngaye bathi hey yazi ungichaza lo wankosi masekethi chu.
Tambeka uchuwa kuphuma kanjani.
Ngathi uphuma ngenye indlela. But nevertheless.
No, but I went on.
Sizalele khona ezayo.
Sizalele da, but mina asengikhuluma ne-off ngithi yazi mina ngiyacela mfethu ngiyakuthanda isonto kodwa ngicela ungangeni ezayona.
Please.
Ngiyacela. And I was recruited by a friend of mine bathi ubongana enhlapho uya lapha eRockville ekasi. Rokas.
Yeah.
Wangenza AME, African Methodist Episcopal Church.
Okay.
Yabo lapho khona ukuya lapha ngamajini ufake
Yeah, you relax.
You relaxed and abantu labakhona uyababona. Uyabona bonke.
Ngoba phela thina ama-jazzman funa ukuthi size mthechana. Akheve phela.
Manje starts nokwenza babesiyo.
Akubonakala ama-kheve.
To be honest, Loudly invites me bemana ma youth club youth things babazenza ngama Saturdays.
Okay.
Angiyela. Mangifika la Saturday ngibona umuntu umntwana bathi uDinewo. uDinewo. Dinewo mangabe khona uyazi kuphi.
Yeah.
uDinewo uyo umuntu wangenza ukuthi ngi-attende isonto everything. I-attende la sonto la ngi-attende la uDinewo. uDinewo ngimfuna high and low.
Ukuthi hey Dinewo.
Ntwana
Mara uko wayikhulumela kuDinewo.
Mfethu manje uyazamancane ungena ngesonto whatever. It took about 4 years. It took about 4 years. Kodwa besengenile esontweni besengincane ngesonto vele. 4 years later kulanga saqala something yakhona I'm sure it didn't end last 4 weeks. So uDinewo umuntu owangiletha esontweni uNkulunkulu wasenda yena ukuthi alethe mina enkonzweni. Yabona? Yeah. Kodwa uDinewo naye
Ngonyeke uzusonto kuDinewo ke.
Hamba uDinewo 4 years later.
Now ahamba.
Namngavaya.
Ay small.
Yeah, into bengezile lapha.
Yeah.
So ngikhuluma ezi wrong.
So nimedi wayithola khona esontweni.
No, besengiretiring lesontweni hayi. Imedi ngayithola. Angathola ngisihlale eYoville outjam. Yeah, mina ngaphuma elekasi ngavaya ngazamazamela kubo Hillbrow Yeoville Berea.
Yeah.
Inongihlana kuzo ndawo lezo uyabona abantu abayazi ngaso sikhathi ilokuza Yeoville used to be the hectic place for artists and all that musicians abo Junior abo Oskido everybody was there at the time abo Brenda Fassie we used to chill at the place but ilokuza Times Square kulabo kuchila khona wonke ama-artist ke bawona lapho ke mfethu and that's when I met the lady who was sitting just across the table there namanye amangana bakhe ngamzama story sakhona silanga
ukuthi mabhebeza.
Yeah. Kulanga mthula khona oqala.
Oqala.
Yeah, baningi.
Wazodrowa kodwa at least mara wagcina.
I'm throw. Ngadrowa vie.
Hey.
Yeah, baba. Uzama izinto emhlabeni. Mayispana yaspana, mangaspana you keep moving.
Yeah.
Yabona mina I'm one of those people I remember ngithola umunye umfazi wami is2 I think ngimtshela ukuthi azini. Lento le abantu abakudala bathi lento ukuthi sonke ukhohlele. Ayispani la.
Qiniselela into engekho.
Mayingaspani for wena. Vaya nawe. Because I don't understand people living their lives in an environment le engekho grand based on the fact ukuthi bafuna ukusatisfy abazali or bafuna ukusatisfy abantwana babo and all that. That time they are losing themselves in their lives. You know, they are losing their minds because of this human being engasafuna ukuba naye ngasikhathi leso. Guess what? Basihlukana umuntu, uhlukana ubuntu mfethu ndibaxosi kanjani?
Okay.
Everything touch futhi bemedama esithule asi grand blind. I think bekufanele sihlukane vie.
ukuthi kube grand.
ukuthi ube grand.
Yeah.
You know, angazi umshado wenzani. Vele content umshado wenzayo. Mina abantu bajola kamnandi kube grand yonke kube mnandi.
Ufaka endlini kashada.
Ngena endlini nje kodwa akanyiwe. Izinto I never understand why. You know, and ungangibuzi ngoba nama ngazi.
But
omkhulu nabo ugogo lento.
But Mackenzie, you do still believe in love.
Love, I believe in love.
Yeah.
Strongly believe in love. I still believe in marriage too.
Oh, okay.
You know, I still do believe in marriage. I'm not sure if I'm cut out for that, but I do believe the marriage is a beautiful thing created by God. You know, and then most of the, you know, in the angles in the beginning, ngithanda family structure man. Lengakhulanga kuyona.
Yes.
Yabona family structure yaka baba no mama nengane. Uyakhumbula sidlala when we were young. Kusikoro sekari ngabantu umama wena
maqashelana yeah njalo ufuna kuba i-timer.
I wanted that. That's all I did once in my life, and I wanted my kids to grow up in that environment, you know. But I wanted it so bad that I messed it up at the same time. But into engijabulisayo ukuthi ingane zami they know the taste of being brought up in an environment like unomama nobaba khona. But then I had to leave. I had to walk away at some point because bengibona ukuthi ihlanyisa mina, ihlanyisa lo mama, ihlanyisa nengane. More than anything behlayisa ingane. This one is not going to work. Khona abantu abahlalayo kodwa bahlala ingane. Mina ngihambe la.
Wabona ukuthi ngathi ayisipanda.
Yeah. Mangasipana ayisipani out. Mangasipana ayisipani. As long as we can be able to get to a point where we are friendly with each other and we can be able to bring up those kids together. My parents. To me that's the best thing that can ever happen. You know?
Yeah.
But once you decide ukuthi no lengane lezi kufanele zikhule environment because that's what I wanted all my life. You know, then you're living your dreams ngengane zakho. And ingane zakho at the end of the day they end up becoming horrible human beings.
Yeah.
You know, having issues, you know, those mental health issues.
Yeah, that's true.
And everything
That's true.
because of you and your selfishness. Because you could not just realize what you know. Sometimes and let the kid grow in the way that they're supposed to grow. Because abantwana bakaNkulunkulu rich.
Yes.
Rich abantwana bakaNkulunkulu me out.
Balethe emhlabeni.
Thina si transport.
That's true.
We are just a vessel to bring them here. But abantwana bakaNkulunkulu, can you imagine how many kids that are growing up right now without parents? But they've succeeded in life.
Yeah.
Because Nkulunkulu was there to take care of them. So as there's a friend of mine, Mtodi Mushesha, I don't know, he was an actor on Mushesha, yeah. You know, he passed away during COVID. You know, it was a very sad thing. And one thing that I liked about him, it was the relationship he had with his daughters, you know. And we had daughters, you know, so we had that
connection,
you know.
Yeah.
And he passed away, and I was looking at the kids. If you know, not less than 50 people during Corona and all that.
Yeah.
And they asked me to talk, and I wasn't even supposed to talk. And I was like, the first thing that I have to say to these kids is that they are God's children. Their father was there to bring them here. They are going to be just fine.
Yes.
They are going to be just fine.
Yeah.
That's what people want.
Yeah.
You know, there are people who've lost their parents way early in their lives, and they were able to because Nkulunkulu will find ways of making it work for you as an individual because umtanake at the end of the day. Yeah? Senkhuluma kuMunkulu. Asesontweni.
Yeah, asonteni bafethu, asonteni. Because bengifuna ukuthi sigcile kakhulu indaba lo. Abanye abantu mawutha check ama-gens.
Yeah.
Uthola umuntu uhlukene nemedia yakhe akasazwani like lento se affect abantwana. So kumuntu manje oyenza sure ukuthi uzama ukulaya imedia yakhe ngabantwana izinto ezivana and vice versa enzeka nase-media as well.
No, actually, I'm telling you, I think my first marriage, the other one is 22, the other one is 20, and balancing those up. You know, it was very tough. I think for the first 6 years of my life, I hated that woman more than anything else. Yeah, I mean, I did. I was like very angry. Because for the first 2 years, I went to Battle Cape Town, and we had to
why do you
them.
think bekwatiswa yini?
Ilento beyenzeka emshadweni yabo into eyenzeka emshadweni ukulo komshado and all that and maybe the deceit, the lies and everything that came with it, you know, maybe from both our ends, not maybe from both our ends, and I was very in love with that woman. Maybe that's another thing, you know. Maybe if you don't love them, you must hate her. No, and but later in life, and I had to make way for peace in my heart and my mind, so that I can be able to be okay for my children. I'm not going to say it was easy. It was not easy, you know. And to be honest, yes, I get a little. You use abantwana.
Yes,
it happened.
Yes,
you know, and it is such an unfortunate thing, Rich,
to happen. Yeah.
Uguti sisebenzisa ingane, you know, ngoba impilo yazo nabo, they still have to grow and experience and find love for themselves and all that. And if they're these two people that are supposedly parents and they've never seen love between these two people, how the hell do you expect these kids to find love anywhere else? You know? So, but then the advantage of that for me was I was able to keep my kids and stay with them.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right? So, and which I'm grateful to my ex-wives about that, because it could have been a fight.
Well,
right?
understanding is.
And they let them stay with me because I never had a father. So one of the biggest thing was I want to keep my father and my kids here so that I can father them, you know, in a way that I can. You know, I'm not perfect in any way, but to me, bahlala nami abantwana bami ngoba bengafuni stepfather rich. Kuphi bengithi amantombazana hamba niyojola jolani
Yeah, abantwana.
kodwa abantwana ngicela babeke nje hlakahlakana abantwana bami la, you know, and they gave me that opportunity.
Namanye amachera afasisa, imedi afasisa ngencusi.
And they gave me that opportunity. Look at man now. I mean, I know one man, and the next year she's going to high school. Now I decided to stay with their mother. They
I think I know the other one,
Untando, yeah, she's a multi-choice right now. Yeah,
because ngumazi ngoba owami uthando.
Oh yes,
So
yes.
uyabona nje
That's my oldest.
kumelana
that's
nothando nje.
Yeah. Ubani Untando ulungile,
Okay.
wandile nolindo kuhle. Yeah.
And I know
all
ukuthi-
girls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All girls.
Izaphahlakela la.
Yeah, no.
Izaphihlikela.
No.
Banokubuza ababuzi kuyabo lama question lawa anokuba awkward sometimes as a time ukuthi ish ngomazivaza ngithini ke lo mntwana.
Yabona mina ke I was never a single parent.
Yeah.
Mina nginabo sister bami.
Okay.
Benginabo sister bami. Nginabo abotshela baba bro wami. Amomeli baba bro wami. Ama neighbor.
Yeah, bayasiza la.
Manginenkinga zamakhosana afana lawo. They go to the neighbor sometimes, or they call because omunye umuntu bakhuluma nabanye abantu. Not because their mothers are not part of their lives. Their mothers are there, part of their lives, very much so. Ukuthi nje they were staying with me more. But then they'll get those questions because there are some of the questions that I could not answer or ask.
Yes.
Answer rather. You know, because and people don't believe that, but
Yeah. Yoshamshaka
no, kubalulekile awutham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ngijwayele.
Ngisekheli makhesi kwami. Ubaba.
Baba Nkosi.
Baba Nkosi lapha. Kwami lapha.
Yeah.
It's like when we fight now, because I mean there are times where I fight with my kids. And we had this big fight at some point, and one person in Japan. And then they say, no, I'm going to my room. Huh?
Ngiyakuyenza la kwami.
You going to room? Whose room? Kwabani?
Yeah.
Hey, yonke into la.
Yakankosi.
Yakonkosi, anonkosi yimi.
Yeah.
Uzokushawa umnyango kabani?
Thatha ama chance.
Oh, just my chance. Hayi kwami. Kwami ngitama mina I believe strongly ukuthi I'm not interested in being friends with my children.
With time.
My children are not my friends, you know, which is what unfortunately most of the single mothers do. Single mothers in our country have got to a point where I'm up running zabo. So it becomes even difficult for them to baba reprimand.
Okay, with ish.
And then they overcompensate. Ngoba bafuna ukushaya lezabo Father's Day, but happy Father's Day to me. Unamabele mfethu. Ngeke wefather mfethu, unamabele mfethu, unamabele umama mfethu.
Ungayida.
You know, ngoba itama ubaba lokuza off, you know. And to me it was very important for me to understand ukuthi bekani la. Mangabe nifuna amangani, you can have them and they can come over and spend time with them and all that. Mina ngumngani wenu. Mina I've been given a responsibility by God. When I first saw you as a little thing with small feet and small hands and small mouth and everything when we were born, I almost cried, you know, because I looked at this and I thought, what a responsibility that God has given me. My responsibility is to feed you, clothe you, roof you, educate you, guide you. All those things are the ones that I'm supposed to do. But how do I do that when I'm your friend? Because sometimes there are certain things that are hard to tell your friend. If I'm your friend, I'm hard to tell you, Baba, so that means I'm going to have to behave like that with my children. My children, I've got to be able to tell them straight up. I span.
Yeah.
I span. I don't want to be liked or loved by you.
Yeah.
Mina, can I do my duties? and finish. So that then you're going to grow up yourself and you're going to see how this thing... You know, I was talking to my daughter last month. She comes to my house. Uthi, Papa, I'm going to grocery this month.
Yeah.
You do, wow. But by the way, I asked her again.
Yeah, okay.
So, sister, you do know good.
Yeah.
So can you just go out there, just buy only necessary things? You don't have to buy
basics.
What basics? You don't buy. I don't know.
Relax.
Ngiphathe thatha car.
Yeah.
Boom. I'm sure 2 hours nyano uyabuya lapha. Hayi, my plastic emotweni.
Yeah.
Well, I was in the kitchen ubheka kanje athi papa.
Yeah.
Yo, this adulting thing. Angeke. And I was like, that's exactly what it is. I wanted you to grow to get to that point in your life where you know that if you're going to go and have your own apartment, these are the things that you're going to need. Right? Papa has always been there to cover you and do everything for you.
Yeah.
Now it's about you doing that yourself.
That's true.
You know?
It helps they don't take things for granted.
You can never take things for granted. You know, I always say things like, what end up happening? What happens to that poor child? Thina bebasikorobhisa mfethu endlini siphekiswa, you know, we used to do all sorts of things in abanganamsebenzi wamantombazana or abafana ekhaya, but wenza everything because they're preparing you.
Yeah.
Preparing you, you're going to have to take over your own life. And when I moved into Hillbrow, my mother gave me this comedy and that's all I went into the flat ngago. You know, I needed to know the all of a sudden my house was full.
Yeah.
You know, in that little bachelor sharing it with my friend from the Val.
Yeah.
We were sharing a flat, paying about 400 rand a month in that flat in Hillbrow, and it was about this is our life. Now we needed to buy a TV. So buy TV lapana. Then there's funny phones, funny telecom. All those things is because of the basics that we got from home.
My parents, yeah.
From home. Not everything will come on a silver platter. You've got to be able to work for things that you want in your life. Because half the time, they are so entitled. You know, they got to a point where
yeah.
Well, you're blaming everybody except for yourself. Get up your part and do something about your life. It's difficult. It's difficult for everybody. You know, and if you don't teach your kids that wena macabanga ukuthi wena uba uNkulunkulu engaleni zakho umngani wabo uzoshona uzobhola what's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to them? That time you've made sure that they don't even relate to other people around you because you're the only person that works and you forget good now uNkulunkulu uzokubiza at some point.
Yeah, but when we're wrapping up when I'm Kenzo indaba yama relationship and family. Okay, so I want you to actually say kumuntu obukele khona manje oqeda ukudivorce, you know, or we process a divorce. Well, awafana ama divorce amanye akushiya umanikinika ngithi amanye ama divorce there's a whole lot of stresses around that situation. So I know ukuthi you actually speak a lot about ilona that subject le abantu abahlali bayibalekela kuyona. So what do you say to umuntu othi eish or change my minds ngasamiyeki lo muntu abe ebona ukuthi kuyabheda ku relationship.
I've never left any relationship in my life knowing that I haven't tried everything humanly possible to try to make it work. When I say I'm leaving, it's based on the fact that I've tried everything. In my marriages, I'm the one who divorced.
Okay.
I'm the one who walked away.
Okay.
You know, I'm sorry, I need a tissue.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kenya, I know the last. Mari outage.
We are paying them.
So yes, abantu kumele bazame by all means ukuthi bazama yonke indlela yokuzama we save a relationship. Yeah.
We are trying to save. Yeah. Because if you got married to divorce, then you're just wasting your time. You know, you married this human being because you care about them so much, right? And basically when it's as a span. And abanye kuphunywa ngokulwa, kuphunywa ngama-frustration and all that most of the time.
Most of the time.
To be honest,
Yeah,
most of the
that's
time,
true.
no, because no one wants to divorce. Really.
I know. You can't say,
Yeah.
okay, ngiyashada manje for divorce next week.
Yeah,
But sometimes,
angenza ama-Kleenex wena
ungitshele.
uzongidabula nge-serviette.
mara kuyadliwa mos.
No, me out. So to me, it's very crucial that when you leave knowing that I've tried everything to work. You know, I will tell you about my second divorce, which we separated. I think we moved away. She moved away from the house for
Okay.
about a year and a half or something like that before. Already in the business shop. But in that time, we tried to be cordial with each other, right? As we discussed, this is what we can have,
Okay.
and this is what I can have.
Okay.
And this is how we go about it. And we agreed on that. It was not 2 seconds, it took some time. But the most important thing about the court date that we were given in Kempton Park, we went to basically go and sign a good
Sekunjalo, yeah. Yeah.
I've been to a divorce court before, but I've never
Okay.
been inside because that other one I almost got a divorce, and this one I had to be inside. It was so full, one.
Kugcwele bobani?
I was stayed number out, it's not divorce. A court,
Ah.
hey, you viewer. So, ngivane lawyer yami, uvane amabra wakhe, yabo. Asengena la grand. Hey, ngiyabona mfethu. Hayi sihlale phansi, so bafanele banibize ngama cold roll, yabo.
Nakhona abahlebayo ukuthi Makhenzo.
So divorce.
Naye.
Ngathi bakhohle ukuthi nabo baya divorce. Anyway,
Yeah.
so uSiphiwe uzobahleli lapha ya.
Okay.
Uthandi ahleli lapha ya. Bayabuze ngithi manje lo the court secretary zobuya Siphiwe,
Yeah.
Ntombini Rado, Zozan.
Yeah.
Uyisukuma lapha uyisukuma lapha yazi ukuthi kuze.
Khona ikwatile.
Kodwa magistrate lapha khuluma tsak divorce hamba. Tommy, what's la?
Yeah.
Rado, what's that?
You.
Fired. And then me and her, me and Otumi were sitting like this, literally. We were sitting together.
Okay.
And then we stood up, and we were holding hands. Right?
Oh.
We went to so you want to go to my confusion and
Nine sure.
Are you guys sure? And they were like, we are very sure. We are okay. You know, it was amazing. That moment, it was sad. Ukuthi
Anyangisablomela lo muntu.
ngoba iskim sami, you know, I always say things like you can never be in a marriage or love somebody that ongamncane as in like angikhuluma ngomathando
Yes.
before
Yeah.
la mathanda deep angena
Yeah.
kuthi amncane nje ukukhuluma naye
Yeah.
kuthi lo muntu lona mfethu mangishile naye kumnandi you know, and you knew that was finishing. You know, that was coming to an end and all that. But we tried to make it as friendly as possible because we had a daughter. Our very smart daughter, one day, a very, very smart daughter, and a very fragile at the same time. So we knew that we needed to do it for her. Right? We had to get to a point where we took her to Papachino's, some that time we were not staying together, right? And so must pay apparently me and the girls must pay out. Papa, don't you want to invite Mama this Sunday so that we can have lunch together? She doesn't understand.
Yeah.
I got told and then I spoke to me. I think it's important that we speak to her about it because the fact that no, we need to make time, sit with her. And we decided when I go to Papachino's, we went there. She sees games and stuff like that, and we got to a point where we were like, so this is
the situation.
This is the situation.
Yeah.
So that I don't get those questions. Umama of uzanini.
It's a difficult position. That
Umama
one.
na time of blind. It's blind. You are the most important thing in our lives, right? But Umama no Papa, they are no longer together. You know, we are no longer in a marriage, and we never want to stay together. You know, and she was affected. And this child was like, okay, all right, can I go play now?
Yeah.
And after that, everything changed. All she wanted was us to speak to her like a human being and say, this is the situation. Max came up again, everything, She spends weekends with her mother whenever she can. And,
So communication is key.
was very crucial. That was very, very crucial. Ngoba they'll get it.
Yes.
Bayabona ukuthi asisekho mos.
Bacabangela ukuthi abazo understand.
But mina I'm one person that I've always thought that it's very crucial to communicate with the children, especially in those amatandana. I mean, my kids got to a point when they saw that I was alone, right, and I was dating around, right, and they said to me, they asked me, "Oh, this is a story." Well, let me not tell a story. So all they said, "Papa, we understand. We've got only two conditions. We don't mind you dating.
Yeah.
Mara ngicela usitshele mangabe uyayini in a serious relationship.
Yeah, so come.
Two. And it's going to into ngazethu.
Yeah, that's true.
That's two. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. Sure.
Oh yeah,
All right.
So
So what happens is that whenever I'm having a serious relationship or a relationship that I think is going to be serious, I introduce them to the partner, to whoever that I'm with, because to me it was important. I don't want them to assume that, I want them to know. Yeah. Especially even when I broke up with them, with the lady I have a child with, my last child, when I broke up with DK, and when I came and told them, guys, things are not working out, but we know most. We saw this.
Yeah.
But then be open about that. Be open about
Make
that so that you
easier.
don't, it makes things a little easier.
Yeah. But no, so khona umuntu onayo straight naye manje or abantu ababukela bangafaka ama-CV.
No, angifuna abantu abafaka ama-CV.
Yeah, ufuna ama-CV angena awafuna ama-CV angenayo guys. Please.
I'm trying out stuff, I'm trying out stuff.
Mina nawe ngathi yafana. We should go for bungee jumping.
I'm in a dating game.
Yeah.
There are people, there's a person that I think has got a potential, but I don't know if I'm ready to commit completely at the moment. So what is happening that I'm taking my time. I'm taking my time. Rich, I've got to a point where I've been alone by myself for a long time. So I make my own rules.
Okay.
Anyway,
somehow.
as long as I inform my kids that I'm not coming home, then they know I can come whatever time that I want to come in my house. So I'm in a space where having somebody on a full time in my life right now will probably be very difficult because I play by my rules.
That's true.
I play by my rules right now.
And solitary life can be so fun sometimes.
It can be so fun, but at the same time, you do need. When I started dating the mother of my last child, Ulindo, it was after I've not been in a relationship for a long time, and I really, really missed love. I really missed love. I missed chilling with somebody and just talking to somebody. I was like,
ngiyakubona ukuthi ngathi uyilezi romance.
No, ngiyancane romance.
Yeah,
romance.
try
I was in another relationship, but to me, I missed something like that, and then I went on for it, and well, needless to say, it did not work. But we made a child very quickly in our relationship. I was like, what? I was not ready.
Hey!
Then I go now, put my candle cool. I'm completely. But she's my child, and I love her to bits. But that cuddling and talking with somebody, I do miss that. But I also know that space. So whoever that I'm going to have a fruitful or successful relationship with is somebody that will understand that have your space and I'll have mine. And we'll have our space together. Right? Because I leave things like this in my room. I want to live it like I want to get it like that. System clean I don't want people to moving things around and all that. So maybe that is my biggest disease at the moment. It's that, and the other big one to me it's maybe it's something that I haven't dealt with in the longest time, right?
Okay.
Trust issues.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
I've got some serious trust issues. You know,
Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I think
It's
maybe,
like ukhona ukawakhawatheka
no, of course. Umuntu ukhawuthekile kaningi. You know, umuntu ukhawuthekile kaningi. I mean, I think more than anything, I think it comes from my first marriage more than anything.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it went on to my second marriage, and unfortunately, I also was cheating. I also was having extramarital affairs. I actually did all sorts of rubbish. You know, I've done that.
They say, Kenny, Tinamagency, that is why we feel so much insecure.
Yeah.
It's because in most cases, we are the one who actually,
We know.
you know, have issues,
We know.
infidelities.
That is true. There's a lot of truth.
Emergency imbondo
You know.
99. Yeah.
So ngifuna ukuthi ngiblomesyo ngibona umuntu ngithi lo muntu le uze kumina purely because uyancane.
Hey, but how do you?
But I don't think that is practical. People are not with you just because bawuncane. There's a whole lot more that must come with you for you to be in a relationship that is fruitful. So I'm 51 and I still find myself very young, right? And I know that Mandela got married again when I was 80.
Okay.
Come on, I still have a choice.
Ngishiya ngawan.
Ushanga bani?
Yeah, angikhawat kangaka.
No, ngisho ukuthi ayasila.
Sabontanga, yeah.
Yeah, singabona.
Yiko ngimele sekubungee jumping no. So
Ngeke.
khipha yonke imbondo lesi.
Ngeke. Ngifuna kabi ngisa bungee jumping.
Adrenaline ba. Sipana ngadrenaline.
Adrenaline. Yabona ubangikumbuzana mangihamba la ingozi siya ilokuza eGold Reef City la. And bafuna ukuthi ungene kulamalo kuze roller coaster and all that.
Yeah.
Ngithi no mina ngizonobela amabheke wayana. Athi awuyigwala ngithi no. Asikegwala.
Ukunibukela.
Iproblem i1. Mina nginengosi. Nina ninazo. Mangibona. Ingozi yami izokhawatheka. Nina ningabona.
Ni annazi.
Vayana. I'm scared. I'm scared of those things.
Yeah.
I'm experimenting on the lezo. Ngiyokucabanga nje ijabe party jumping. I remember I went with my friends some point we were doing cutting route. And they what is it that longest bridge? Is it a plate or something like that?
Yeah.
And they were all going at Vayana. Mina ngicabanga into eyi-1 ukuthi phela ngiyabona ngakanani. What if le nto yami iqo?
Hey, angitshela.
Ngiyalaga. What if uyaya la?
Angitshela.
What if
Yo.
Sengibonile.
Ay.
Abra ngizibonile la. Bengiyenzani?
So many ways to die.
Ngabayeka. Bavele bengiserestaurant sami ngazibambela ibhiya yami ngathi ahamba
Hlukana ne-fashion.
ngene into ifana lezo.
Iyaqala isizini awuthiyami.
Yes, baba.
In I think the first week of August. And amabhakabhaka ngiyakubona vele so
It's a new one.
This is the new one.
It's a new one, baba.
But they all look the same.
They don't look the same, baba.
Yeah, indaba. That's why they all look the same.
Yabona la move la.
me tell you that-
sofa sonke impandla.
You know, let me tell you the reason why
You
these
say that.
jerseys they look the same.
Yeah.
Because sponsorship, njenge Adidas, iroute Adidas.
Adidas.
Uyazi mawuthi Kapa uyazi namaline amaningi nje awazi kwenzakalani.
uyazi.
Ngiyibonile nale Kapa. You think they will do well ama rivals?
I'm hoping that they do well. Yazi mina,
Because if they
I
do well,
really
you
think
guys-
that Chiefs must do well. Chiefs and Pirates must
do well.
You know, angilona ikhosi vele ngibani ya wonke umuntu
I
uyawazi.
know that, yeah.
But when Chiefs is not working
Isn't
and
as
Pagania is not working, the league is not working. The excitement is not there.
It's even worse
Like
now.
the past few seasons where Sundowns was just the one that's taking over everything. That can't be right. These are the oldest clubs in this country.
Yeah, that's true. But nomnotho ayehla.
Nomnotho uyayehla. Kwehla yonke into.
Uzobona
nasekhaya.
nje she Sunday mayishaya indlala nani ngoyoung.
Yeah.
Young what? Mayishaya igoli lesi2 Monday yakhona ziyawa ngepetrol yehlile.
True story.
Ukuthi kahle ziyawa. But now issue ye Chiefs now lately njengoba besekuphela season bowubona ngathi mangabe lacking motivation. Ubona ngathi icoach beyithi mayikhuluma nabo ngathi bebethola icoach wrong ekhuluma izinto ezirong. Ngathi beyithi guys losing is the key. Ngifavor yona mara sengiyasho. Kevin Johnson kuba
No, but I don't
ngathi
think-
guys lose man. Let's be against our supporters. Let's make
It's
sure.
not that Chiefs had bad players, you know, but if things are not right from behind the scenes, you can tell.
That's true.
You know, there's a lot that was
That
not
is so
right behind the
true. Yeah,
scenes.
that is
And
so
I think that's what happens. I mean, Njenge-documentary le ebhakani le maybe bayishaya ku-Super Sports. I loved it.
Braston, yeah.
Not Braston,
documentary.
Pirates.
Okay.
I think it had 3 parts. It was beautiful. But you can see what is happening behind the scenes. That's where you could see this is why these boys are playing so well. You know, and I hope that Chiefs can do that as well. You know, and work this behind the scenes.
Yeah,
thing,
Coach Parrott is doing a great job, I must say.
He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, he
and
is.
you've got to be able to be at the point where you coach if una team win, not a certain players to shine.
That's true.
You work towards the team. You
Promote
know,
teamwork, yeah.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
You know, and the Chiefs. I mean, I'm the coach about Cholo Manch. I don't know him very well, but of course I read on him and the stuff. I believe they need somebody like that. They need somebody who's going to be able to tell management. But hey, ngifuna kanje mina. Mangayenzi kanje mina okay sharp.
I be saying you should now.
Coach Antimien.
Ama-players e-South Africa nale mentality kumele kuze kuze umuntu waorkanti ukuthi izinto nizenze right. Angitshele.
That is such nonsensical.
Very sad.
It's sad.
Hayi bafethu.
You know, but you need a strong coaches. Yambona Kevin ukuthi was a caretaker coach. He never had power. Abonseki really never had power. To be honest,
Yeah, that's true.
They never had power. But you really needed somebody that is going to be able to say, Mina, I'm coming here with a vision. You know, this is my vision to take, and my philosophy is, I'm going to take this. This is what I'm promising you, Mr. Chairman, or Jessica, or whoever. I'm promising you this. This is what I'm going to achieve in this space of time, and I need you guys to support me so that I can make that happen, right? And if it gets to that point, I didn't achieve, then you can tell me to fuck off. Then I'll fuck off.
I'm hoping this season, the season to start, Pirates will win the league, and then Chiefs will win some cup, one cup.
No, man guys, I said
Yeah.
Tina sifuna win the league there one.
Yeah, win and league.
And sifuna kuyokuma finally the Champions League.
Yeah.
Right. Mangabe nenza kahle maybe ngizoshare between ama cup 8 wena Sundowns maybe one uzothola Nedbank or nathela yilo sizonzama.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Fanele nani Spanish.
Okay, singacama ngizosigaya nje.
No, ngeke nje.
Vele sisipanish.
Thina yabona mina what I'm watching for Paris right now ukuthi Paris fanele iqale kahle. Yabona Paris improving day one.
Kana kabi phapha second round of the
season and lapho mfethu Sundowns senama 15 games without loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
So Paris needs to start right now. And we must start right. Mangabe and so tata ilokuza MTN yethu. Ngoba first
I mean, and going to defend at the same time.
Yeah.
MTN
Shama double twice.
Hey.
Yabo? Kodwa ngifuna ukuthi sifocus kakhulu la
kwi
league out na Africa. Yabo la makhapa ethu lawo amfundisi waphethe for 2 seasons.
Mina into engakutshela yona njengoba nisihleka ngeChiefs ne into ezowenzeka ne ngalama player esinawo khona manje ne swashana noma sicimezile ama goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Mawuthi goal. Hawu kanjani manje? Ubeke edlule masicimezile goal. Angitshele ba.
Yabona ke ngathi sothokoza gogo. Ngoba lento esho angi-understand. Uyabona bakubonisa.
Yeah, ngiyayibona le.
Uyabonisa.
Amfana ngiyakuthokoza gogo ngeChiefs.
Mina ngifuna ukubona right now how did you guys do when you went away for pre-season?
Pre-season sidliwa yi1 game e1 shy 5-0 angitshele. Lawa manje swawinile yokugcina sa draw sabuya. Okay. But it's just a pre-season. Yeah. You don't have to look. I mean, but awubheki kakhulu nge-pre-season.
No, but that's what tells you about the players in pre-season.
Kanje ama-sign maranje. Ungabheki ama-win lose. Bheka nje ukudlala kanjani.
Baba, you guys have got the most supporters in this country.
Yeah.
Can you imagine when all your supporters come back to the stadium right now?
It'll be fun.
Come on, man. Let's make this.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's make this exciting again.
But let's talk about career yakho now, Mackenzie out.
Because
I know ukuthi wena mawuqala before nje uqala mhlambe uactor.
Yeah.
Ukowacabanga nje mawusibheka esipilini ukuthi manje ngiyasika yazi. Angazi ukuthi abantu bayacabanga ukowacabanga nje wasibheka wathi manje umuntu usika kanje. Everywhere I go abantu basangana. Akusho umuntu yasika yazi.
Angazi ngibona kanjalo mina. Mina angazi ngibona kanjalo msho wena ubona kanjalo. No. Man.
Because kunzima Mackenzie uma ufika endaweni kumele abantu babe noma ngabe ungaphathekanga kahle. Uma ufika endaweni abantu ba expect ukuthi
it's a difficult one.
Public person.
It's a difficult one.
Hey, you trying by all means ukuthi uhlale nje kunjalo.
You know,
but how do you keep up?
I always say that I never get out of my house if I'm not feeling good about myself.
Okay.
I stay at home. You know, if I'm not gonna be okay. Right? It's like mangzo a mall ngiyazi a mall mos there'll be 2-3 bogogo oh my makhenza ngithi mafena abogogo kakhulu usencane makhenza isithambe yabona and I don't want to be snacks to them so I try to mangiphuma in positive attitude and the people know me a certain way because they see me on TV being this guy they don't realize that sometimes I'm that guy ogulayo njengamanje who's not feeling so good you know unokubloma nje angafuni umsindo you know and lock himself up at some point do you know ukuthi which is one thing I was talking about ngilanga mangikhuluma ngabantu bangibuza ukuthi how do you charge in terms of your appearances or your MC work or your TV stuff ngithi mina there's so much involved for me to come and tell you my rate I want you to understand that after doing the things that you want me to do on television, I still have 24 hours of my life to live. So, I'm still working. So, I charge you for that too.
Oh, yes.
I charge you for the fact that I can't live my life without sitting in a restaurant without somebody coming to say, Mackenzie, can I?
Yeah,
you know? So the price is not just about the 2 seconds you find me on television.
The price is so vast.
It's more. You know, it's more. But it's my work. It's something I enjoy. It's something I do. But there are times where I need to go because people know you as this funny guy on TV and jolly guy, whatever. People then take advantage and be disrespectful.
That's true.
I mean, there have been people who've been disrespectful. And again, when you're being disrespectful to me, I will be disrespectful to you. Easy. Right? So, what do you have about it?
Manje kanjani?
Enye intwana ngathela nayile.
Kanjani manje?
Nayile.
Hayi mhlawumbe ukuthi ngoba ilanguage yasekhaya.
Ngimshongo umkhulu wakho mfethu.
Intwana.
Ngimshongo umkhulu wakho nayile.
Bathi yiphi? Hayi le makheni.
Yabona lesitudle le. Khona la I think I was just starting in the business so Spana TC secondary school a lot because that's where we used to do drama.
Okay.
So I never had a car obviously so bengihamba ngeTaxi mangibuye hill pro lapho. Ngithi number 1 office ama office ngikhuphuke ngeTC. Yabona ngidlala lapha ePanyaza ke TC.
Yeah.
And khona into nama hits iyangibona la. Angithi bayadlala labantu badlala eJardini. Ithi uzobona le enyazwa yini ngibona le uthi bani oh yile stool iyajika yafaya ngithi
intwana zanu
hey emergency
yeah
well I don't even think emergency but you know sometimes it's to be expected but to me it's a question of don't ever say that don't ever do that you know because mina discipline shem kalula nje ngifana abomama la bagcola emamall bagcola hambe bakathi hey umntana ufuna isithombe nawe ukuthi akekho la ngikuthanda no namanga mama ufuna isithombe umntana kangazi nokungazi ukuthi ngubani wena wabuka emzi wa 26 kudala wena buka uKenneth Nkosi kudala lo akazi nokungazi lo osayizolo you know, but it's a job that I like. It's something that I enjoy. As manqala mfethu kulento le it was a hobby. It was a hobby. It was something that I was doing kuma youth clubs. You know, the singing, the dancing, the stuff that we used to do when we were growing up. You know, in the late 80s into the 90s. You know, tina besinga nama console. Tina we used to go out there and really have fun. You know, and then I fell in love with this thing called acting. You know, and I'll tell you why I fell in love with it more, because when you grow up as a young man with low self-esteem, there's nothing that can be such therapy like acting. You know, when you're able to be able to do something in front of I imagine you hide from the fact that that's not me. It's a character.
You hide.
Not me, the character. So you are able to open up and all that. You know, you grew up and you're told, you grew up, so I have to find some defense mechanisms, which is I think is where the funny comes from. But before you can tell me that I'm fat, I would have told myself I'm fat and told you I'm fat. But the time we share, you know, so I would use it as the funny was used like that, and I created a character around that. You know, people will never believe when I tell you that there's a big element of me of being an introvert, where I get into a space that too many people all of a sudden I play character.
Yeah.
Trust me, I do play character. So sometimes there are few people in my life that know that. You know, when I get into a space, like, you know, that's why I don't go to these awards a lot. Then see so many people and all that, and people are expecting you to be something else and all that. Then I play character.
Okay.
You know, because I'd rather be just sitting there and watching things from a distance. You know, but because of the genre of acting that I've chosen, people think that when I can do it.
Very easy. Yeah.
The other day, but no, but I will never do that. But when Makenzo, we are the last person who's shy. I've got my insecurities as well, and there are certain things that I will never be able to do. Come on, work with me here.
Yeah.
Because we are all human beings and we do things differently. But because of the personalities that I've portrayed in the world, then people see me like that. I mean, I get angry, and the people that know me when I'm angry, they don't want, no one wants to be near me, right? So I express myself. I don't have a gray area. You know, it's black or white. You know, when I'm angry, I'm happy. I'm happy. When I'm not happy, I'm not happy. You know, and I'm very straightforward in how I feel and all that. I don't play around. I don't mess around with my feelings. So the acting gave me the power to be able to express myself. You know, to express myself. And when things are tough, I just get into the character.
Yes.
I borrow from the character, and then I get home. And can you imagine when you're playing a character the whole day, and by the time you get home, you're so exhausted. You're so tired, and the wife expects you to be this, and the daughters expect you to be this, and you are so exhausted because you've been playing this character the whole day. Right? What's going to happen to your family? What's going to happen to your wife? What's going to happen? Eventually, the thing eats into you, and a lot starts going wrong. Which is why my kids will tell you, I'll spend 2 minutes now and all that. You know, if there's something we have to do, sharp, but I'll lock myself in my bedroom because at that time I just
relax.
You know, I don't have to be anybody else. I don't have to be a father. I don't have to be an actor. I don't have to be a friend. I don't have to be a lover. I don't know. I just want to be a Kenneth Nkosi who just sit there and watch TV until it's red at the back. You know
man, you know? We're having serious fun here. It's the Zoo Lake on Happy Days on podcast, and we're here with Kenneth Nkosi.
We're happy people.
Yeah, we're happy people.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
Happy people.
Yeah.
Come on now. Recognize.
Yeah, but recognize. I was about to say, Mackenzie Guti, this thing about being serious, it's something that is really seriously giving me problems. I think sometimes I used to say to Amajansamu, we need to, you know, get serious about it, you know, to make sure sometimes mele ulusina up you know, ungabi serious kakhulu for your life, you know. So that is why, or that is how Happy Days is designed for. Tatama inkinga zakho ziphosela. Yeah, ziphosela namhlanje ngaziphosela la edamini laseZoo Lake. Phosela la esihlahleni. Enjoy that.
You can swim, Happy Days are here again.
It's right here. And then you continue. But now, I wanted to talk about Nikro. I know that's where you started.
Yes.
Nikro.
Yes.
And you are, so even now, Namanje, usasama friends now.
Nikro played a huge role in my life. You know, and it goes back to that guy that I told you about. Ubongane Nklapo.
Okay.
Ubongane Nklapo, who introduced me to AME, the church.
Okay.
You know, he was one of the guys that I really molded myself around him. He was my role model, to be honest. You know, he's not very older than me, but he was ahead. And I really wanted to be close to him and get to know him.
Okay.
You know, and I'll tell you a story how I got to know him. You'll
surprised.
I think being was standard 5, you know, at the time, lower primary and higher primary.
Yes.
So I was in lower primary. Lower primary, standard 3 or something.
Yeah.
Generation there. Henley. And there's this lady called Lawrence Tolle. Lawrence Tolle was my classmate, but I was very attracted to Lawrence Tolle. Okay. So I had a huge crush on Lawrence. You know, but at the time, I just never had guts to say anything about it, right? But one time we took a trip, Escolo. Masamba masifika laphana etripini kwamnandi. I remember she just gave me a peck on my lips, and
Yo.
I knew she was my girlfriend, right? And as I said, she was my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Don't tell me
My
how,
Jensen,
but I know she was my woman, right?
Yeah.
And so what used to happen is that on Fridays she'll walk down Ilov Street from Henley going towards Chrisani. We pushed Road now. It's Chrisani Road, Parakwanath Road. And being Mambili back. And this one time, and I'm walking, then Bongana is coming this way. Bongana was a nice, tall, slim guy, has a complexion. And he comes and just grabs her, you know? And takes her bag. But Nyamazi Bongana Nyamazi, because our brothers were family. And he called her.
Okay.
You know? So our families knew each other. But I always admired this guy. This guy, Ongshang is 99. You know, and I look at him, and it goes like, and I'm in Duana. We're in Duana, okay, me the But to me, what was fascinating, this guy spoke to me. And it is the guy that I always wanted to talk to.
Oh, okay.
So what happened after that, I made an effort to find him, right? Near Gubo. Gubo, and then I think he's thinking what is Okulmango Lorraine. Yeah, I mean, I get via going into Sharp. As I'm going for is Gambler. Because this guy used to speak English, right? All the time with this Gambler. This guy just laughed. He laughed. That time Lorraine Chole is out of my mind. I don't care about Lorraine. Now Lorraine got me to meet this guy properly.
Yeah.
But properly singing out there. Pegala, you club in Nikro. Come around and check it out and see if you like it. And that's how we went to Nikro.
Okay.
I get to Nikro, very bad my youth leadership training, public speaking courses, confidence building, and all those other things about acting, about dancing, and all that. And then I was just immersed there. And then we became big buddies. I call him Jack, he calls me Jack. We became so close with the brother that I was doing everything with him. And there's a lot that I was learning from him as we went along in our lives. And we still are friends and close to our family. And that's how we got to Nikro. And he worked for Nikro for a longest time himself. And I wanted to share people who really took their time to help us as young people to develop ourselves, skills, mentally and otherwise. And Nikro became that important to me. And I will always say, if it was not for Nikro, I don't think I'll be where I am today as an actor and performer.
Yeah, I hear you say that a lot.
Yeah.
So in Nikro, is a corner man, it's a push.
Nikro corner right now, but it's no longer the same. The youth culture, the youth club culture finished long time ago. I mean, democracy. As democracy was entering, the youth culture, the youth club culture was gone.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But that is a very worrisome factor.
No, that was sad because then people just became secluded. People went into their own spaces and all that, and they were not doing that anymore. It became a bit. My 80s.
Yeah.
It is sad, but when I went to community theater groups, which is one of the things that then became the most popular after that, theater, and I was part of that rush. Bomishek Mavuso in Alex. All those guys, then we became that thing about the community theater. Then it became a huge thing in our country, and which then moved my career forward. Yeah.
And then you also went to join the Market Theatre.
Yes, I went to the Market Theatre Laboratory, because I always believe with whatever talent that you have, it's also important because what the Market Theatre did for me was not to teach me how to be an actor.
Okay.
And I think it's quite difficult to teach anybody to be an actor, right?
That comes naturally.
That comes naturally. But
they just mold you.
How
there
to
and
mold
there,
you, and they mold you in your acting and also in the business of acting. The discipline of acting and all that. So they helped me a great deal.
Because I'm actually talking about the Market Theatre because I wanted you there's a question that I always have
Yeah.
about theater versus television or film, you know,
Yes.
because I see that different.
Yes.
But I've never had a clear, strong answer
Yes.
as on satisfier. I asked to Ubabu James Ngobo
Yes.
about it. He
Yes.
tried to answer me,
Yeah.
and I also did ask to Mampindi. We had Mampindi at Soweto Theatre.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I asked even Mam Yvonne, you
Yes.
know, I know that she's not acting, but because she's in the art industry.
Yes, yes.
Ukuthi kuza kanjani, kwenzeka kanjani mo? How do you shift, Mackenzie? Let's say ngilona ne, ngise theatre manje ngiya act.
Yeah.
Ngibona ngathi abantu base theatre bagaya that
Very expressive.
yeah, very expressive. Yabona ukusho ukuthi bayakutshengisa ukuthi umuntu makathi makayenza kanje now you can actually see the expression. But for TV, you need to say it for us to understand it rather than to, you know, dance like or to show it even now alone.
Yeah.
So why am I an actor when you watching them?
Yeah.
Uyabona ukuthi they still stage whilst kusibukela TV and I don't it
really
doesn't
think it's a
it
skill.
turns me off.
I really think it's a skill.
Tell you the
You know, it's a skill that you should not be afraid of learning, right? Because what we have to understand, the much I'm very loud for this camera, right? Because when the lapel is here, I don't have to be that loud.
Yes.
Well, of course, also depending on the character that you're playing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because cinema is here,
Okay.
right? You don't have to be loud. You don't have to be too expressive.
Yes.
You don't have to be, because it's just right here. Television is right here. The stage is here. Remember that theater comes from Romeo, Juliet, and Juliet when they were performing. I mean Shakespeare.
Yeah.
When they would perform in Rome, you know, in these big amphitheaters, and they'll be so big that people will be sitting up there and all that. So that's why they had to be Romans,
Yeah.
countrymen, lend me your ears,
Yeah, manje
so
manje.
that they can be able to reach
Ish.
everybody and everybody to see what is going on. So there are different mediums, and I think it's a responsibility of every actor to be able to learn that.
Yeah, because we were talking with Ama gents and
Yeah.
Ama guys was like, there's about pinpoint a certain actors.
Yeah.
Yabona Uzalo, there's a guy for that character Nkosi. I just forgot his real name.
Masoja.
Yeah, Masoja.
Masoja,
Ukuthi
yeah.
is nayo uba ngathi use stage whilst as a TV.
But and the Masoja, you have to understand, is a poet. His original thing is a poet.
It comes out, yeah.
You know, he's a poet. You know, but I also think that there's this little thing called directing, you know, that also must come in.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, when I'm acting there, you're the one sitting with the monitors and checking my performance as a director. I think it's important for you to be able to come to me and say, you know what, tone it down there a bit. I think
yeah.
this is like, but it's very difficult to do it in the industry. To do that, especially with Abo Zalo, the long-running shows, because it's a sausage factory. We are shooting. Let's finish.
Yeah,
We gotta
that's
make-
cut, yeah.
We've got to make these pages this day and finish. So there's no time, maybe sometimes which is why I love movies, because with movies,
There's enough time.
There's time. It's well, not every movie, but there are times where you can be able to speak to the director and find those little things that will make it happen, you know. But with soapies and all that, it's like, hey, let's go.
Yes, sure, Baba.
We don't have time to be teaching you how to act here. Let's move on. Come. Let's move it.
Yeah.
But I don't criticize actors like those, you know, because I really think that it has something to do with directors as well. Because then why are they there? If directors are there, they're just there based on set up my cameras and getting good angles, then it doesn't work for me, because then they actually have to care about the person who is portraying the character, the person who is, you know, disseminating the information. Right?
So do you still remember one part where it was your first time a stage?
Oh yeah.
And which one was that?
Yeah. Listen, at school we, of course, did the stage shows at school, but professionally, it was a play called Aphrodisiac.
Okay.
Aphrodisia. It was directed by a then teacher of mine called Robert Coleman.
Okay.
I was with Lucas Tabaloy. I don't know if you know Lucas Tabaloy. Luki, one of the oldest actors. Luki.
You.
Yes. I was with Luki in that Aline Stefano, Annalyn. Oh yeah, it was a comedy. It was a fuss. It was a beautiful day. I remember that. I remember the nerves. I remember going on. I'm like, whoa. I mean, that was my first professional play, but I had been on stage before that.
Okay.
I had done other things.
Yeah.
You know, because professionally, what is professional is when you're getting paid for it, right?
That's true.
So I was not getting paid for it, but I've done it before.
Okay.
You know, but it is the most exhilarating, most beautiful feeling, nerve-wracking feeling to be on stage. You know, when we get that 5-minute call, because now we are going on, and we just finished warming up and all that, and the curtains open, and we've got to give that performance, and the performance is just here, and the people are here. That's the most amazing feeling.
Yeah.
You know, where you know the people that you're working for or performing for are in the room, right? It's unlike television. Here is a camera.
Yeah.
Okay, as much as there could be other people behind the scenes, but it's just camera.
Yeah,
I'm able to say cut. Let's do it again. On stage, you can't. You've got to be able to have so many skills that you're not able to say cut.
Or improvise at that end.
Improvise and do things like that. But it's the most, it's the most beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and I haven't been on stage in the longest time. And I'm trying to work with some of the guys right now. Where it seems that my hands are.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work with the guys. Yeah, we're trying. I'm trying to come up with something that will take me back to stage, because I'm not sure if I want to do the old classics. You know, there are friends of mine are doing old classics like what was Albert, maybe about the island and all that.
Yes.
I want something contemporary. I want something new, something fresh, something that is theater today. You know, and I don't know. We're just going to get money. We need money for it, but we want to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
And then yes, and Abantu that I've started with, you know, in the community theater space. So hopefully it's going to work. I don't know.
And the Konalape Market Theatre, that's actually where you met up with Uraps.
Yes. Raps, we met them. We met. He used to come around. And, when I was still a student, I think come around there, and he was a very well-known, popular guy in the theater space. I never understood why, but until they showed me My Children, My Africa, right? And he was just a cool gent, you know. He used to banter and chill and talk together and all that, and we became friends somehow. No, in fact, we became friends.
Yeah, because I was about to ask you, that, you know.
No, we became friends when we went to start working my very first television show, which was Isidingo.
Oh, okay.
Isidingo was my very first television appearance. Yeah, people don't know that. I was Simon Fagude in Pondo.
Okay.
You know, I was at a friend of mine's place, and I was looking at the picture like, damn, man, I used to be so small. What happened there was they hired Rapulana as a lead, one of the lead characters, with the Wotone Khoroge and Abu Akina Motoso.
Yeah.
Me, I was meant to be there for about 12 calls or something like that. And to me, it was enough because I was introducing myself into the TV space. But they kept me for a year, and which I enjoyed. And our friendship developed from there. And we started sharing more about the things that we like to do, things that we like to engage in, you know, be it work or pleasure and all that. And we started just doing a lot of those things, work and pleasure.
Yeah, and you even joined the very same casting agency.
Munin Lee.
Yeah, Munin Lee.
Yeah. I think Raps was there already. Me, I think I joined a bit later because I never had an agent. But when coming on it was, the first job at TV actually Munin. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was this thing. Yes.
Yeah.
But before that, I was not on with the agents because I was doing theater and I was working. I didn't need anything else. But when I moved into the television space, I know I needed somebody to represent me. And that's how I found Munin. And you know how I found Munin? People don't believe this. Munin had come to the open day at the Market Theatre Laboratory when we graduated, but he never recognized me. And she was like, she never took any of us.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, fast forward 5 years later, I'm looking for an agent, and I'm doing a children's theatre, staying in Hillbrow, at the Civic Theatre, right? Johannesburg Theatre. We used to perform in the foyer. And somehow I was able to get hold of Munin's number. And I kept on calling her. I I think this woman was just getting irritated with this guy. And then one day she decided to send Sandra, who was working with her at the time, to come and check me out in the theatre. And then she came, and after the show, she came to me and said, no, I'd like Munin to meet you. And okay, good, sure. So we made a meeting with Munin, and that's how we met, and that's how it went on. Because to me, it was important that if I'm going to join an agent, I was going to join an agent that knew what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
So, because then how do you sell me?
Yeah,
when
because
exactly. So how do you sell me if you don't know me? And so I know for a fact that Munin was very, may her soul rest in peace. I mean, we used to have meetings every year, just to sit and discuss what my year is going to be like. What do I want this year? What do I want to achieve this year?
So the agent is working with you.
You're working with
Yeah.
me. And those one of the things that I miss about her a lot, because that to me was the most important thing. Because then I was not going to just do things because they are there. It's about how you're molding my career towards whatever. I mean, the first film, believe it or not, do you know my first film I made was Tsotsi.
Oh,
First ever film I made was
so okay,
Tsotsi.
I saw you on Tsotsi.
You know, and it's a funny thing about that show, when I'm talking about working with your agent. There are two casts, and you know, there was an adult cast and a young man cast.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So initially Zola was supposed to play Tsotsi. So Zola 7 was gonna be the adult cast.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I was still fitting in the adult cast to play the character that I was playing. Who was up? Who was the guy that just a stocky guy that
Yeah.
used to follow Tsotsi around, right? And then there was Presley. So I think the producers got to a point where like, oh, fuck man, let's use the younger version.
Okay.
When they used the younger version, I was like, does that
Yeah, we are
mean,
ngakha.
I don't know, but does that mean that I'm losing the job?
Oh, uyaphuma wena.
Because
Ngoba ufola andala kula.
And for some reason, we worked on it with Munini. We spoke about it, and she was casting, and the director, Robin, what's his name? They spoke about it, and they were able to fit me with the older and with the younger generation that they casted. And from then on, I knew is that's someone I can trust.
Yes.
There are certain roles that I could not play. I look back, I'm thinking, should have played that one. But Munini, I know. Munini was like, nah, that's not for
Yeah,
him.
but you are relatable at the same time, Mackenzie, because you can play different characters.
Well, yeah.
Khona
I
lapho
guess.
nokuqhamuka nje usira businessman in town bag.
Yeah.
So it helps to be versatile.
So I can cut this and play young.
Yeah. Qhamuka uyiputsununu lapho. Putsununu.
You wish. You wish.
And then white wedding.
Yes.
Yo. Ayibekhuluma ikasi lo. Kasi lamakasi wonke khulunywa kuthiwa ayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayayay project, no.
That project was amazing. It was amazing because it's how it was made more than anything, you know. It's the behind, which is
But
what I always, when I say behind the scenes, always tell whatever happens in front of you know, when a viewer sees something that is off, it's because at the back it was off.
That's true.
Right.
But I think our directors, they didn't work hard there.
Yeah.
Because they wanted people who are friends, you were friends.
Well, the thing about the director of that movie was our friend too.
Oh, that's cool, though.
So it was myself, Rapulana, and Jen Turner. We all met in Sidingo, remember I said?
Okay.
We formed a company with Tony Koroge at the time, and then Tony left us, then it was the three of us. We wanted to do things that we wanted to do, what we loved, you know, doing. And when we formed a company called Stepping Stone, myself, Rapulana, and Jen, we wrote a few projects. We've got a lot of stuff that we wrote. But White Wedding happened when this one December we decided we want to go on holiday, but we want to go on holiday in Cape Town.
Okay.
Jen had a place in Cape Town, so we decided no flying. We took the car, we drove from here to Cape Town. We stopped in so many little towns, Philippolis and all that. We in some strange towns that I didn't even know that existed in this country. As we're driving, that's when White Wedding came about. As we're driving, we're like, so hey, this could happen. And
Yeah.
we went there, we had a good holiday. We came back, we sat down and said, let's write a story.
We're doing it.
It's a trip from Johannesburg to Cape Town. How do you do it? How is it going to be influenced? So it was influenced by my first wife.
Okay.
Because my first wife is from Cape Town.
Oh.
So we're like, what if this guy is getting married to a woman in Cape Town? Like me and Nobuntu.
Yeah, yeah.
So the story started there. Then we fleshed it out. And that's how What Wedding happened.
It's a beautiful
So we wrote it ourselves.
South African story.
Yeah, we wrote it ourselves. So that's why it comes out so natural, because we wrote each other's lines. The director knew exactly what she wanted, because we all were part of the same thing.
Because it was just more like a very easy to watch story.
Yeah.
You can relate. I mean, you can watch it with the Intwana yako,
Yes,
Medi,
yes.
you know, family.
It's a nice family movie.
Yeah, it is a very nice
I mean, we
family
did it
movie,
over
I must say.
20 days. 20 days in 4 provinces, not easy. We shot in Gauteng, we shot in Durban, we shot in the Eastern Cape, we shot in Cape Town. 20 days, small skeleton crew. We shot it on the road. As we were, the first movie that we shot on sequence. Like Alakonis Opera, we shot it like that. As we were driving, the crew was driving with us.
Yeah.
We drove all the way to Cape Town. We were shooting it as we go. It was the most beautiful time I've had in my life.
Yeah.
You know, with the crew that really wanted to work with us and who was part of the story. Lots of the crew members are actually in the story. You know, they're playing extra work there. It's amazing.
You did also work with Mr. Bone in some
Schuster.
cases. Yeah.
Yeah, Schuster. Yes, I did. I did. The first thing that I did with Schuster was Met Buddies.
Oh yes.
Which became very popular with the young people as well. It was quite a different thing for me because I'm not very slapsticky.
Yeah.
And this guy is very slapsticky.
Yeah.
But it was fun to do. It was just a fun thing to do, you know, to make. And I wanted to introduce myself to a different audience as well, which was the Afrikaans audience as well, right? Which I did, and then I went on to move to Postback. So now my neighbors are Afrikaans.
Yeah.
I'm African, it's just a game.
Viva Afrikaner.
All I'm African army. Romanab. Yeah,
Bangumsindo.
No.
Oh, bakhan ngumsindo.
You will never get that from my neighbors.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first time I went to stay there, and then I left Ilokuza in gated area.
Yeah.
A gated area. I love hosting.
Yeah.
So kunabantu kunomsindo. So banqosha vele bacomplain ngami kakhulu.
Ukuthi lo muntu usibangela umsindo. But where you are now, you're fine.
So we decided to move on, and we got a standalone house with my wife, and then we moved in there. And the first thing I wanted to do was to do a fucking party. Okay, so I invite all my friends, and my friends bafika. Yeah. So what I thought the first thing I should do was to get my neighbors, make a notice.
Yeah.
And I did all that. There's one guy you're telling us that we're going to have noise and we're going to have a party, and you're not inviting us.
Yes,
What the fuck are you doing? Yo, clappies and coke. I'm a puna chip gabi.
Yeah.
Clappies and coke. That's why I make a complicated job about that. About that, expensive. I'm about Hennessy. Clappies and coke. That's why and trust me.
Yeah.
Something else like Islam. The secretary I tell you now, hey, you're busy today. He said, I'm busy, my brother. You know, yeah. You know, so I have a good relationship with those people. And we fight when we fight, but yeah.
But at least they understand that.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah, but nje masiloku siqhubeka ngecareer yakho Mackenzie indaba because I know ukuthi there are points lapho bonayo ukuthi ngathi I'm on a low point here.
Yeah.
Empilweni ngathi asikhiphi.
Yeah.
Can you maybe share with happy fellows isikhathi lapho bonayo ukuthi mawucabanga acting usho ukuthi ngathi ngangaphuma embedeni mhlambi financially or emotionally.
Yeah. No, that is very true. That happens. I mean, currently I'm not as busy as I would like to be. So, I mean, there's a time where I really got disillusioned with this business. I'm like,
yeah.
Do I really want to be doing this anymore? You know, maybe I should be trying other things. But also at the same time, you know, you go through that deep.
Yeah.
You know, you have to pick yourself up at the same time when things are not working as well as they used to. You know, listen, I can never be a 20-year-old Kenneth now. I'm a 51-year-old Kenneth now. So I can never be as popular as I was then. You know, the reality of the matter that there are young people that are coming in now, and then now you're playing on a different stage.
Yeah, but it's not the
yeah. You know, but it doesn't mean I stop acting, right? Because I'm still going to act at 51, which is why I'm about to open up the industry. But no, open up the industry. I mean, I understand about to open up the industry. What do they mean? Do they mean that
yeah, good open up, not
but you want young people, but I can never compete with a young person. The young person can never compete with me.
But now, my young people, they need experience. You know,
as an actor, and we cannot compete. We can only work together, which is why working with people like Thomas Kumete to me has been always fascinating. I mean, about Thomas, they are young people who know their space, who are confident in whatever they are doing. And they will drop you in.
No, it's good.
They will drop you in at the legends. Let's do this and this and that together. And I'll do it almost easy. And I'm actually enjoying more working with young people right now than older guys. Because sometimes older guys get stuck in their old ways, you know, and not wanting to explore more. And so having to work with young people, I'm learning a few things too that keep me motivated. When there's a down, you think,
yeah, how to sit.
But there are times when it's been bad, when it's been really rough, and well, like I'm saying right now, I've not been working as much as when things are bad. But yes.
Yeah. Zophatala angakataki ngiyaphila.
Right. Must be getting some badal.
Yeah.
You know, because that's just how the nature of the business is, you know. And with Corona, and it messed us up in a way that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, their life savings have to work and all that, and then you have to start to. I mean, we still feel some of the effects.
Yes, that is
today.
what I'm saying. They're still trying to recover,
You know,
but even now.
You know, I was getting my Kenzi, nobody know. As traveling my list, abantu abathola imali. Nali gama la Kenneth Nkosi 20,000. And wonke umuntu uthi hayi nifile ke. Ngithi 20,000.
Yeah.
La 20,000 le mali yale qada ilama bottle expensive.
Angitshele.
Yakhumbula abo take it or leave it.
Yeah. I'll take it or leave it. Or we cut so lockdown.
You know, so there are dark times, there are bad times, but it's how.
There are also good times.
But it's how you get yourself out of it. That's a difficult thing because you've got to be able to get yourself out of it and work.
Yeah.
You know, like in life, nothing is like that.
Yeah.
There's the seasons for everything. Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's true.
That's just how life is. You know?
But in wrapping up, Makenzo, you actually spoke about him. I wanted for us to talk about him as a new minister of arts and sports and arts. That is Kayton Mackenzie.
Yes.
I mean, as we art industry,
right.
Do you think Maupegilo Makenzo is out a grant to take the department, the portfolio forward?
He's got good energy.
Yeah,
I really think he's got good intentions.
He doesn't have good intentions.
I think he has good intentions.
Oh, okay.
I think he does.
Okay.
But I also think that he's new. I also think that he might not be able to understand how the government works. As much as he wants to speed things up and make things work, he might be frustrated by how the red tape works with government.
Yeah.
That might frustrate him, right? And I think he must be able to be ready for stuff like that. You know? Love is energy. Let's find out who got paid what, fine, let's find out. But then what to do about it? So are you saying that the people that have been able to find some kind of funding, I'm not talking about relief, COVID
relief.
You know, and then because Twitter is different, because when they see that you got 10,000, it means like, oh, you've been funded, and they don't really realize, but no, it's actually that was just a relief fund. Does it mean now you're gonna get victimized, which you might not be able to apply for finances to do the projects that you wanna do, right? So I wish him all the best, and I think he's coming with a good energy, and I like that.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that he has to really think about it strong about how he's going to be frustrated by the bureaucracy that goes with the government.
Yeah. It's
because
going to be very difficult.
I promise you, because you get there, you want to change things and all that. You got this energy, but Alapana will slow you down.
Yeah.
Because he's a politician, number one. He doesn't sign checks, right?
Yeah, he doesn't.
There's DGs and all that, and people that are supposed to be doing the administration there, right? And how he works with those people, to me, will be able to tell us if he's going to make it or not.
Yeah, because obviously, if you are a minister, you know, down there is your director general.
Exactly.
There are people who need to really push, whatever you want to change. Yeah.
So, but what I'm hoping for, the focus doesn't become just too much on sport, because the unfortunate part in the past few years,
there is music, like there's entertainment, there's
sport has just begun to took a lot of, which is why I'm still saying I don't know why the sport must be sport, arts and culture must be something else.
That's how you feel.
You know, that's what I really feel, because I really do think that sport does take over to a large degree.
Yeah.
But I'm wishing him the best, and I hope. And the other thing is consultation. You know, I mean, to me, he must do as much consultation as humanly possible. Talk to everybody to know, so that when he makes decisions, they're based on what is heard from the people that are in the industry.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Because people can just make decisions from the outside, but there are people that are actually living this industry, are here. Talk to the organizations that are there, that are taking care of artists and all that.
Yeah.
And
but when we're talking about acting, precisely because we are in acting,
I'm a film
what is
maker.
what is it that you would like to see?
Yeah.
Mackenzie doing?
Well, for
acting.
For film industry.
Yeah, for film industry.
For the film industry in general. Of course, we need more funding. It's a very difficult thing. Me and I'm talking about filmmaking specifically because that's what I love doing more. Right? It is difficult to get funding for that. Right? And I know that we do get our tax rebates whenever we can, but before tax rebate, you've got to be able to raise a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if they can encourage for us to tell more South African stories, for us to tell more South African stories, South Africans must put more money into the South African stories. You know, I mean, there are a lot of young people that are out there that are doing a lot of work. People are picking up their cameras and they are shooting, and which I think is the most important thing to do. But I'm not just talking about acting. I'm talking about there are producers out there, there are directors out there. There's crew out there that are looking for work and work that is South African, and that can only be
So you've
backed up
got
by South
too
Africans.
much talent, and people who are writing and want to tell South African stories.
Yeah.
They need to put money into that.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I think.
and uplift
And,
the
and
industry.
not just that, but there are regulations on how. I mean, I know that there's a white paper that's out there that's supposed to be signed and stuff by the government. I'm not waiting. That's the protection of the artists completely in this country. Just for us to be protected as the people that pay tax.
Yeah.
Which is the unfortunate thing in this country. I mean, in this every salary that I earn, I pay 25% of tax. Tax season is here. The taxman wants me to do some returns on.
Yeah.
But I don't seem to benefit as a taxpayer. I'm not recognized as a worker in this country. And I'm paying tax.
That's it.
But I'm not recognized as a worker in South Africa today.
But if tax taxiwe
Yeah.
yeah.
It takes up that one all the time. So the respect for the arts to me is most important. For us to be able to abantu bathi niyahola nina yo noma ngizisumbulu. It's mean like, okay, put me here. Let me make an example. You are a teacher, I'm an actor. Okay, you get paid 10 grand a month.
Okay.
I do a gig that pays me 100,000 rand that month. And for the rest of the year, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
So I've got to spread that 10,000 rand, right? I'm taxed, by the way, right? And you've got your medical aid covered. You've got some grant.
Benefits
For your
are
money, for
galo,
the
yeah.
government. Medical aid, grant. I don't have all those,
Dolol.
right? With this 100,000 rand, which is once off. By the time I'm done with that, I'm probably just left with nothing.
Yeah.
And you're still getting paid your 10,000 rand a month with all the benefits.
Yeah, with all the benefits.
So we've got to be able to get it to make it so comfortable for us to be able to live as well as human beings and take care of our families.
So
Because you are very quick to gossip about us when things are not are going bad.
yeah, so the government should make people to make a living out of it.
Not just a living, just respect the people.
Yeah, respect.
Just respect the industry. Just because I mean they're very quick to come in and pose for the awards when there's also winning an Oscar. You'll see them. They want to be in the picture.
Yeah.
If you can see the Tsotsi pictures, you'll probably think I was not even there. Politicians are there.
Yeah, you are very
They're
cool.
holding.
Yeah.
Tyler goes and wins whatever. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes we are
They're
there.
You know, I mean, when you get to a point where you only get money from the government or from the institutions of the government after they've seen the success of the movie, and they want to be in the credits. When you are making it, they never even believed in you. So you have to succeed before they can be able to say, "Okay, we'll give you this 100,000 rand." Come on, man. You can do better.
Yeah, but let's push, Mackenzo, a life out here. I mean, our challenges.
Yeah.
Let's just push, and we are so happy
My
that
mantra
you
is
always
simple,
come
but-
out to grand.
I'll
Yeah.
the mentor one I'm telling.
Yeah,
I was saying out it says Shangama dreadlocks man, but usbude.
yeah.
Foster njengomsebenzi.
Vela,
Foster njengomsebenzi.
ayikhenze njani
Ayikho ntwana.
Yeah.
You've got to do what
Faka
you gotta do.
likhanda liphuye livithikile, malivithike alivithike, mara kusala sayipusha
Keep
lempilo.
it moving.
Yeah, it's Happy Days on podcast. That was Kenny Mackenzo, and we are out. Ngendlela right there.
Subscribe and become a member of the biggest family, the Happy Days on Podcast family.